Welcome, welcome, welcome. You're in the right place at the right time. Today is Tuesday, and it is at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. And I tell you, we're going to have a very interesting show today. We have a revisiting guest, my friend from the North. Miss DBoss is going to be with us today, and I'm so excited because I haven't talked to her in quite a while. She's so busy. I tell you, boy, she is so busy, but I'm glad to get her on the show today. And we're going to get caught up with some things that's going on up in Canada. So without further ado, let me go over and do my announcements and get them out the way. One of the first things I want to do is give a shout out to Dr. Hunt. I always give Dr. Hunt a shout out before I go live because Dr. Hunt has been with me 30 plus years. And out of the 30 plus years that he's been with me, that's no easy task. So if you've got somebody that is a mentor or someone that has been with you for a long period of time, please pray for them. Keep them lifted up. Keep them encouraged. Okay? That's my shout out. Now I want to invite everybody to go over to my website, ask-dr-ron.com. When you get over there, please browse and take a look at all of my advertisers. Now, here are a few of my advertisers: RRJ Webb, Surf Synergy, Port Again Sam, and Prince Hunter Financial Group. Now, with these that I have listed here, these are the ones that I want you to pay close special attention to. RRJ Webb will help you if you have a website that you would like to build. He can help you. Surf Synergy, if you're interested in finding out how energy efficiency can work in your household, you definitely want to reach out to Surf Synergy. Port Again Sam, well, you hear me talk about him all the time. If you're interested in some of the best wines and spirits from all over the world, you definitely want to reach out to Sam. Click on any one of these tabs and it'll take you over to their website and set up a wine tasting. And Prince Hunter Financial Group, you want to reach out to them because they're offering free classes on how to be able to trade the stock market and to be able to trade the Forex market. So he's giving away 4 free classes. So you definitely want to reach out to him if you want to learn a new skill set. So reach out to them, any of these advertisers, and you'll have an opportunity to be able to, find out exactly what they all do. Now, like I said before, we have a returning guest. We have Miss DBoss in the house. She has agreed to come on and give us an update on what's going on in her world. I tell you, last time she was on the show, we didn't have enough time because we ran out of, we had so many things to say. And I tell you, we had to cut it short. But as always, she is my sister in broadcasting. I am so glad to bring her back to the show. Welcome back, Miss DBoss.
Well, welcome. Thank you, Dr. Ron, for having me.
Yes, it is
And
my privilege and pleasure. I tell you, you stay so busy. Oh my God. She's not only in Canada, she's got shows that she broadcasts all through the islands and all over the place. So what's going on? Give me the update. What's happening with you?
oh, well, for people that don't know me, I'm DBoss, and what I broadcast prime time night between 10 and 12 a.m. Monday through Friday, and we're in 22 different countries in we're in the UK and also the UK, 22 countries in the Caribbean, UK. We're also in US on Optimum TV, One Stop Media, and then we're on Bell 5, which is your equivalent in the state to Verizon. So we got like at least about 12 million people on a daily basis viewing the channel, and that's actually TV.
Okay, that's beautiful. and I see your shows all the time. They pop up on my news feed all the time, and I'm like, boy, she stay busy. You know, now let me ask you a question. Since the last time I talked to you, I know that you were um, doing a lot of interviews with people in the music industry. Is that something that you're still doing?
Yeah, yeah. I've interviewed geez, Orange Juice Jones,
Mm-hmm.
his daughter, yeah, Perry Jones. I just interviewed Mikey J, and he's doing a lot of stuff with the film industry. He's got he's his own brand. He's a part of so many different agencies and keeping guns off the streets. And there's just so much things about him. And he just put out his film company is AIM Film Group, and he just put out a one called Hopeless Romantic, a film. And then the next one he had put out is Keys and Cuffs. So I hope you guys can get that, see those movies up there. And he's also a part of of my network officially, officially now. So he's doing a lot of movies, and coming here. And I also work with who's my cousin, Vance World Media, and he's here in Toronto. So if you want to film documentaries, if you want to film promos, any type of thing, they can make it work for you. And they're here in the Toronto area. And he's also an entertainer, Vance McKenzie. He's also a big entertainer. So I've been.
I see. So when's your movie coming out? I know you starring in something.
Well, I don't know. I guess if somebody wants to cast it, they probably will.
Now, now you now the movie that you were talking about, is that in open circulation or is it limited circulation? Where is it going to be, the U.S. and Canada, or where do you know where it's going to be released at?
What? I'm sorry. You're.
No, I'm saying the movie that you were just talking about. Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, it's in the States. Yeah, it's in the States, and they're going down to Atlanta. So they're doing like little different cities throughout the U.S., and then they'll have it, and they'll show the movie that at that particular time.
Gotcha.
So you can watch the trailers and stuff. That's Mikey J, Mikey Stevens Paul. You can watch. That's his name there. So you can actually see all that, and the movies and all the stuff that he's doing, because he does a lot of stuff. So it's Michael Stephen Paul, which that's what he goes by, his movie name. He's a two-time Grammy nominated artist, and his artist is Mikey J. But for the movies, he's doing Michael Stephen Paul. So the movies are really good, and then he got a couple of songs coming out also, which is excellent.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of things he's doing. He's doing a lot, a lot.
So what kind of movie is it? Adventure, hip hop movie?
Well, one is hopeless. One is a hopeless romantic, and the other one is like a crime scene investigation. Keys and Cuff. He plays a
Okay.
detective. He actually acts in this movie.
Okay. That's good. That's good. I'm surprised you didn't get a cameo.
No. Then I've interviewed, April Allen, and the Canadian Congress here, which is they support colonialism. And then you probably know Tina Renee, the soul singer.
Okay. No, not familiar, but keep going.
You're not familiar with her?
No, these are people I should know, but I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah.
And also Melanie Durant. She's big also in the music. She does performances in the U.S. A lot of people think that she's American, but she's actually Canadian, and she performs like the Pointer Sisters, the Tina Turner. Her and her mom, they actually costume up, and they do those impersonations, but they also have their own music.
Okay.
So, and then also with Tina Renee, we did the Ladies of Soul.
Okay.
That was that interview was something that talked about all the women, and they did, it was Christian, and it was singing, and these girls know how to sing and blow the mic off. So they had some rap, they had some things, they talked about their struggle, Ladies of Soul, and that's with Tina Renee. She's a heads up that. So it's, we've been doing some stuff, and then my sponsors and different people like Come Clean TV, ACW, uh, Come Clean Entertainment. We got the radio station with Donnie Walker, WGLR, WLGRO, and then we have, and then I have Legends, which is here up in Canada, but they broadcast worldwide. And then we have Big Man Entertainment. They do a lot of stuff out, everywhere, but they're in the New York
Okay.
area, tri-state area. They're out there to do a lot of. They're in there. They do interviews, movies, all kinds of stuff. So these guys are doing some stuff. And then I just interviewed King Tapa, and he just released out the Rhythm San Bay, and he has a couple of artists on there, and it's doing very well.
Okay.
So they got Brookout, Nando Griffith, and then they have another young lady, um, Jaya, Jaya, Jaya,
Okay.
and so it's just all different kinds of people from all, and then also, oh yes, I did the interview with Chris Rock's brother, Kenny Rock, Dio, Melvin, Melvin Celebrity Barbershop, Melvin Walker. So he was there, and they talked about we talked about Chris Rock and
Mm-hmm.
what happened with the, everybody knows the slap with Will
Right.
Smith, and he represented his brother very well in that interview. So people can go watch that on my YouTube channel.
Okay. So now I know it's not unusual for American production companies to go to Canada to do productions because
Right.
the cost of doing a production is not as expensive, so they
Okay.
say. So is that what you're hearing as far as when they're doing productions and things of that nature?
That's correct, because well, because the Canadian currency and the American currency is not the same as the currency there, so they get a lot more money for their value for their money when they come and shoot here.
Okay, gotcha.
So right now the Canadian government and stuff they're encouraging filmmakers from the U.S. to come here to do their movies.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Now, it appears that since everybody is trying to get back out in the street and back out into the world, I know people are so excited they're going crazy down here in the U.S. What's it like up in Canada? Are they equally as buck wild, trying to get out of the house and doing things? Are they proceeding with caution? What is it like with the COVID situation up there?
Well, the COVID right now, they are we're just starting to like open up stuff. You're allowed to, if you could, wear your mask if you want to in the stores. You have the option. So some people are still wearing their mask. Some people who don't want to are not. So they just said now they just made an announcement that next week they're going to start to open up for the activities, all the activities that they're going to be doing, the summer activities for the kids. So they're allowed to register and do those things. Um, things we didn't open as aggressively as you guys in the US there.
Hmm.
So they took their time here to really, like, they followed the protocol and do the stages of opening.
Hmm.
So what happens is that when that goes on like that and stuff happens, people have to understand that it just can't open, because then, oh yeah, the numbers go up, but they were going up at first when it first opened, and then it tapered back down, and then they just had the elections here. So when they had the elections here, I guess they didn't want to close down so that people couldn't go out and vote. These were the provincial elections. So we're just like, okay. So then after, now the premier has told everybody, well, the businesses are open. You can be open now. You're going to start to open up. They said they're having a big festival here, Caravana. That's in August. We have a holiday here in the first weekend of August, and it usually brings in about 2 million people into the city. And we already have a lot of people here, so you can imagine 2 million people coming into the city. So we'll wait to see how that's gonna, you know,
Yeah, affect.
smooth out with the pandemic, because there's no social distancing in those kinds of in that type of event at
Right.
all.
Now,
So I don't know if you've been to any of those Caribbean events, and people are very close.
yeah. Now, what's your border situation like? I remember a few months back, there were shutdowns at the border by the truckers. They were shutting down, for protesting. So, what's the border situation like? Because Toronto is a border country. So, how are they handling border situations over
Well,
there?
that border thing was a big thing because it started. A lot of people, we didn't even know that so many trucks were here in actually in Ontario, and the trucks that came from where way up north and all these places, we were really shocked because, and that stopped a lot of the food from coming in. That stopped a lot of the people getting the ships were just going around in the sea waiting for trucks to come to take the goods off of the trucks, and they weren't coming. So that was, they were fighting for the cause, I guess, because what happened is that all during the border time, they were going back and forth and nobody had asked them any kind of questions. So now all of a sudden it came up. So then they went buck wild, and they shut down they had to call in the security and people to be moved. And I didn't even know that some of those trucks had some of those trucks were looking like an apartment,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah,
So
yeah.
they were inviting people who didn't have, that type of facility. Oh, why don't you come on in? We're gonna cook, and we're gonna sit down, and we're gonna relax. You know what I mean? So like, and they're carrying this big cargo. So when they're carrying the big cargo, we were shocked too, because it was like, well, geez, where they got that in there? There's some of those places they showed. Some of them had really big, really nice places, nicer than your own, probably your own home.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. Well, I have I worked in that industry for a while, so I know some people, boy, it's like a motorhome. They can live in that truck for, months and weeks at a time, just by getting supplies and keep on going. And so were they able to come to a peaceable resolve with the protests?
well, they were charging companies that wouldn't move. It was like 100,000.
Wow.
So and then some who did want to move couldn't, because it was all jammed up.
Right.
So how are they supposed to move, like one, two, three, when they got somebody maybe want to move but they can't move? So they actually had to get somebody that had they had to get those cranes out there and say, okay, you don't want to move, we're going to clear it out. They can still do your protest, but not to block the
Right.
borders. So then you had you guys on the other side. So the Canadians on the other side were blocking the borders on the other side also. So it was Windsor, Niagara Falls, Cornwall, all the major ones that people go through were blocked. So then the border, and then I think your President Joe Biden, he called, and he's called our prime minister and said, y'all need to clean out your backyard.
Yeah.
Y'all need to clean up your backyard and get everything going again, because this is stopping, and people are losing a lot of money. So now, well, they really made a good point, because nothing can happen without those goods coming and going and coming into the city and going, because people, you don't really realize it.
Yeah.
The trucks got to go to the airplanes, the trucks got to get to the trains, the trucks got to get to the ships, and they don't have any, they don't have that, they don't, nothing goes, nothing moves. The trucks got to go pick up this cargo off of the ships, and the so when those things weren't happening, it was just, oh, you're not seeing the food on the shelves in the grocery stores.
That's right.
So it was,
Yeah.
so you realize how important they are, that they keep the trade going, and they keep stuff going, and they keep everything moving. So when everybody has a lot more respect, because they said, geez, if they're not in play, nothing moves. The industry, they
That's
could
right.
just down the industry.
That's right. They shut the world
They,
down. Yeah. Yeah. We're
they said they
yeah,
don't.
we had I don't know if you all have the same problem in Canada. Here in the United States, they're going through a big baby milk problem. So
Oh,
yeah.
I heard that they have no
Yeah,
formula or something.
that's the milk. Yeah. So
Mm.
the one of the Abbott factories that um, manufactured all those specialty milks and formulas for babies had to shut down because of contamination. Well, they were shut down too long. So and they ran out of formula. It was no milk for the babies. So and we're talking newborn babies, of course. So some of them
Yeah,
need specialty,
milk.
yeah, this and specialty that, and there wasn't available. So the president sent airplanes over to reputable companies overseas to ship those formulas over to try and put a stopgap in place to help with those formulas. So are they struggling the same way with baby milk in Canada?
I don't think so. Not that I know of. I'd have to.
Oh,
I'm not sure. I'm not sure because maybe you guys make a different set there. Maybe they make something here.
okay.
I'd have something that I would have to find out.
Yeah, well,
Really.
I'm sure it doesn't affect your little circle because you ain't got no
Yeah.
little babies that you need milk. But that's a big deal over here. Babies
Hmm.
need milk. And it's just crazy. So now,
So what are they doing in the meantime while they don't have
well, they
any
well they
milk?
sent in
They,
some, so they got some. So now they've started. They cleaned up the mess in the factory. So they're expecting in the next 30 days to 60 days that they should have the shelves filled back up with the milk that they need for the babies.
hmm.
So that's a big deal. See, like you, I don't have no little baby, so it don't affect me. You know, yeah. If I need some milk, it's for alcoholic beverage, some coconut milk or something. But it is a serious crisis, that's going on, that's affecting, a lot of young mothers that have special needs for milk. And on one of the Thursday shows, and it's so crazy, I shouldn't even repeat it. On the Thursday show was six guys, you was all guys, right? So one of the guys on the show was saying, well, if women would breastfeed the children, they wouldn't have no problem. You know, so that was a very male driven statement.
Mhm.
you know,
It is.
yeah, but and it's disturbing because crises like that are very overlooked sometimes.
Right.
Until it's at a crisis state. And then now everybody wants to try and get on board, and it's the president's fault. Well, the president don't manufacture baby milk.
No.
you know,
No.
but it's his fault anyway. So he has been proactive in trying to deal with trying to make sure that the mothers get what they need, and that's one of the most important things that's going on with that. So you're saying that the borders are open, free to go.
Yeah, but they're still keeping the thing that you have to have your fully vaccinated. I believe they said it's till the end of June.
Okay. So I know you mentioned that they.
So they're letting you. So you have to show your proof of vaccination. You have to do all your due diligence. So they're not letting you just come back and forth like
Okay.
before, like that.
So the festival that you mentioned about in August, the holiday, so people will be able to come across the border to attend that festival with no problem.
Mhm. They should. They should.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right. I was just checking. So
they
yeah.
should.
So is there a very large vaccination effort still going on in Canada, like here in the United States?
Well, people are being vaccinated, but I did my due diligence, and that was it. I'm not getting anything else.
Okay.
So
Yeah, because they're pushing for not just vaccination, but the boosters and all of that stuff. They're pushing really hard to try and keep people, every 6 months going back getting the shot. So I just didn't know if they had the same campaign going on up in Canada like they did here.
Well, they have it here. They're telling people if they want to get it, but some people are just saying, you know what, we did what we had to do
Right.
and stuff like that, and you know, everybody who has had to get vaccinated got vaccinated, and some people still didn't. So
Yeah.
there's still people out there that never even got nothing. So
Yeah.
and they're not doing it.
Yeah.
So they're against it. So
Yeah. Well, I want to applaud your country for something that they did over about a week or so ago, and I caught it in the news. Your prime minister declared assault weapons banned in Canada, and I thought that was, such a huge, huge accomplishment because assault weapons are not necessary for hunting, as all the gun enthusiasts have been campaigning. Oh no, no, we don't want to ban any guns. Well, he banned assault weapons in Canada, and it only took him a day or two to do it. And down
uh-huh.
here in the United States, they're still behind closed doors, campaigning, trying to satisfy all the gun enthusiasts over this issue. So, did they have any type of public conversation about it, or they just did it and that's it?
They just did it.
Man, that's how easy it
They
should be.
probably had a conversation with the people in there,
Uh huh.
in the circle. They're in the same thing, but public, no.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
So they just told y'all what it is. No more assault weapons. I love
Hmm.
that.
Well, you guys have been having so many shootings down there, and it's
Exactly.
very, very. It's not saying we don't have things here. We have things here happening also, and people have to understand that it's not just you guys, but unfortunately, you guys have been. It's been happening a lot, but things happen here, but it's not so publicly announced. But there's things going on here all the time too. So we always have to be careful.
Yeah. Yes. Unfortunately, we have had mass killings just about every week, unfortunately. And the powers to be are still, and when I say powers to be, I'm talking about elected officials, they're still debating, like, oh, no, that's just one crazy. But when, every crazy that got a gun is a potential mass murderer, that's a dangerous scenario when you allowed him to be able to go walk into a store and say, okay, I'm 18, here's my ID, here's my money, let me have like two assault weapons, and that's crazy, and being accountable is no accountability. Somebody should ask questions before they release
Right.
these type of weapons into the hand of an 18-year-old, to find out what his mental state is and what's going on with him. But
Or some kind of
yes,
reference.
politicians don't. Some politicians. I'm not gonna say all,
Uh-huh.
but some
Some.
politicians are adverse to that type of stopping them from getting weapons. And hopefully, the powers to be, like the public, will be able to not vote these politicians back in because they ain't got an idea what the public want. The public is crying out every day, enough is enough. Let's stop this because it's crazy. And they don't get it. They just, they're like, oh yeah, well, because it's big money in guns. And that's the thing,
Mhm.
I talked about it on one of my other shows. I said, uh, the retail sales clerk who sold those two guns to that 18-year-old should have asked the question, why do you need two assault weapons in 2 days? That would have been a very
Hmm.
simple question to ask him, instead of just taking his money and saying, thank you very much, how much ammunition you need, and selling it to him. Well, that was a good sale for him, yes, but he should have asked questions that could have stopped him from being so heavily armed. And, retail people are just all about the money, unfortunately, you know. And I'm glad that up there in Canada you don't have that issue anymore. You know, they stopped it. That's a beautiful
Well,
thing.
they still got people probably have guns
Mm-hmm.
somewhere, but now they're, they put the law down. So, but a lot. I was talking to somebody in the U.S. and they were saying with these kids that are playing these video
Yeah.
games and the killing and stuff. So some of them, when they see that and they get shot at, the people get back up in the video game.
Mm-hmm.
But in reality, they're not getting back up. When you get shot, you're
Right.
down.
In real life, that's
But
it. Yep.
some of those video games, they think, oh, bam, 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 they just got shot in the arm, and bam, they got back up and start running in the game. But in the game, that actually doesn't happen. And, in life, that when somebody gets shot, they're on the ground.
That's it. That's it. That's all.
They're not jumping. They're not jumping back up. It's not a movie.
Yeah, that's true. You know. Yep, it's over. You know, and some people, you know, granted, we have a large level of mental illness floating around that people are armed.
Mhm,
You know, and but you don't know that they're mentally ill until they start using those weapons in the wrong way. You
mhm.
know, and by that time it's too late.
Apparently, they said the shooting in Texas. They said the guy was walking around in the school for about an hour or two before he went and was shooting people. An hour, and then an hour he was in there, and then people didn't know there was a shooting going on until after.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
oh,
yeah. I don't know how much they mentioned internationally about what went on with that, but they have discovered that the authorities in that town made major mistakes by allowing this person to roam around and kill people at will before they decided to go in and end his life. And those are some of the ongoing investigations that are going on now. Is like, why, you know, why did they allow this man to have free reign to kill all these children and teachers in this school so long? They should have breached, they should have ended his life and probably could have saved some lives. You know,
mm-hmm,
today in the U.S. on CNN, they had one of the teachers who was shot in that incident, who had 11 of his children killed in his classroom. He got shot in the arm, in the lungs, in the back. They left him for dead, but you know, by the grace of God, he's still alive. And he gave an
mm,
interview today, you know, in tears, basically saying that he could not have had any special training that would have prepared him for what happened on that day when that man walked into his classroom, because that's some of the
mm-hmm,
conversation that has been going on in the state of Texas. Of course, the governor is saying, well, we got to prepare our teachers, we got to train our teachers how to respond in a situation like this. Well, the only training that they have been giving teachers is if it's an active shooter, hide under the desk. And that didn't help none of his children that got killed. All 11 of his children were killed when that shooter came into that room. And today, just today, he was interviewed by, you know, one of the networks, and he gave that in tears, literally in tears, talking about it was nothing he could do to help his children. So, you know, the governor issued an order to all school teachers that now you all are going to do training on what to do in case of an active shooter. Well, that's not going to do
right,
nothing. You know, you know, they did what they were trained to do: hide. You know, and under a desk, working in plain sight. You know, so when the guy came in and started shooting people, they were sitting ducks. You know, so
mm,
it's not good, and they're trying to justify that they were just not trained properly. Well, your police with guns and body armor stood outside for an hour and a half and still didn't do nothing. They weren't trained correctly either. So
No.
it's just ridiculous. What it's going to take, or we don't know what is it going to take for politicians to get to a point where they're like, okay, we got to do something different because what we're doing is not working. So once again, I applaud, your country for what they have done in a 2-day notice. They saw the news clip. They're like, okay, we ain't having this problem. We're going to ban assault weapons. And I love it. It's simple as that. Okay, it's a done deal. It's a done deal, and not just Canada, but Australia. And there are other countries that have banned assault weapons and banned them not after this incident, but other incidents that they saw happen somewhere else. If you see something like that happen somewhere else, we don't want that problem. We're going to ban assault weapons now. And that stops it. That heads it off, So for governments that got good sense, they didn't have no problem banning assault weapons, So now we talked about the latest news and situations of that nature. So what's going on in the islands where you hanging out at? I know you got.
I'm hanging out
Well,
anywhere.
that's where you from.
Oh, but well, no, I'm Canadian, but my family and stuff comes from
There you go.
Barbados. So they have, a lot of things have opened. They're doing things there, but they're very strict on what's happening. So they have contained a lot of the pandemic and stuff there, because the Prime Minister Mia Mottley, she is not playing with anything. So, when you come down there, you're going to be, you even had a COVID test here, you're going to get COVID tested again when you get there.
Okay. So
you don't have to go in quarantine and all that, but they'll test you, and then they'll test everybody that came down on the flight. So you got to make sure that you are absolutely clear of all that.
All right. So the borders are open. Now they have festivals in Barbados as well. Now, do you do any coverages on those types of things?
Sometimes if the people are coming through there, because I interview people from Dominica, Guyana, Trinidad, and Tobago, Jamaica. I interview people in Spanish, the Spanish culture, Latin America, but they have to have stable internet connection. That's the thing. So sometimes in Barbados you don't have that problem. St. Lucia, St. Vincent, and those places like that. But some other places, sometimes the internet connection is not as stable, like in Jamaica or Cuba, where they got to go somewhere probably to so I can interview them and get them out there. So they just got to make sure that their internet connection and stuff is stable enough that they can go through. Africa sometimes, whoo, that's a
yeah.
That's one place that is just, sometimes the connection works. Sometimes it just all depends where they're coming from or how they're doing, because, you don't want to have a story that's choppy, or, things happen here too, but, at least it comes back in. But sometimes those guys go out. That's it. They're gone.
They're gone. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Yeah, and look, not just the internet, the electricity, the water. African island living is an adventure. I can remember being in the Bahamas on one of the outer islands, and they have a main electric station, that has to keep running 24 hours. And the island, when you're out on the ocean in an island like that, it's so quiet and peaceful. Then all of a sudden, the one thing that you hear as a noise in the distance is the electric going down. Whoop! That's it, and everything goes black. Well, you hear the pump. Well, you hear the generator when it shuts down. Like somebody wake up the engineer. He got to go start the generator back up because everything on the island is black. All you got is stars in the sky, and it never fails. It always stops at night. I don't know why that generator shuts down at night, but it shuts down at night and that's it, So people are walking down the road, You can't even see who they're talking to. But yeah,
But down there it's real dark, because we got all the lighting and the
right,
street
right,
lights and
right,
stuff. But there, if you don't need, some of these buildings have all their lights on at night. In the Caribbean, some of them they shut it off. They say, why are you going to waste
right.
power?
Exactly. That's exactly right.
Why you have the light off unless we having something there? We can have it. Why you gonna have the light on just to show that, oh, the building is lit, how it's lit up at night?
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
But in North America and in places, that's a big thing. They keep the buildings, keep the lights so that people can see the city. You
Right.
know what I mean?
Exactly.
But in the Caribbean, they don't. No, they ain't worrying about that. They said it's off, it's
Yeah.
off.
It's off. It's off. Yeah. That's true. That's so true. So, what else is going on in your world? I know you got something good to tell me. Come on.
Well, I'm doing a magazine, a digital magazine, and it's called Caribbean Business Link, and that's not just people for the Caribbean; it's for everybody to state that that everybody's open back for business. Who's open, because a lot of people don't know. Some during the pandemic, a lot of people closed, a lot of things happened, so they can showcase their business. They can showcase themselves. To have a link there to if they have an infomercial or something like that in the actual magazine. So it's Caribbean Business Link by DBoss Networks, and brought to you presents. And the entertainers can get in there in case people want to hire the entertainers and people to go down actually to, wherever, so that they can see their whole portfolio, and as opposed to just trying to get it. They can see them, they can reach out to people and stuff like that. And also what I'm doing is I'm giving them a if they take an ad or advertising, when the advertising is very, 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 very affordable for people to do and stuff like that. So they can get a free TV interview.
Oh, okay.
So if they take an ad, it doesn't matter what size or what type of ad they take, they can get a free TV interview, and that'll go out, and that'll help bring them some business. And now I'm also having the Spanish people in there, the sports section, the people like sports and stuff. So I'm going to be doing a few different segments in my in Real Life Matters show. For people that don't know, it's Real Life Matters is my show that I do, Power Pack. And I'm going to have another segment that I'm going to be doing very shortly, probably either by September. I think about maybe September. I'm going to do another segment. It's different type of segment, different type of showcase, along with the magazine. So the magazine, the TV's behind it, Caravision, Bell 5, they're behind the magazine. So it's not just like an average magazine. They actually have the TV stations and stuff behind it. So, and they support what I do. So I'm pretty glad. So if anybody does want to come in, they can call. The rates are very affordable. I can work it towards any budget and people in there. And of course, I know Dr. Ron has to come in there.
Uh-oh. All right. Well, look, we'll talk.
And it's open to everybody, every race, creed, color, from every walk of life. It's not just one set of people. So if they want to be in it, they could just send me an email at media@dbossnetworks.com. You can see it at the bottom of the screen right
Yep.
there. And there's media at, and then if they want to call me, they can call me 647-478-9742. That's my business number. The number again is 647-478-9742. So they can reach out to me if you want to get in, you want to find out how to get in and stuff like that, how to be in it, because that's going to be the next thing that's going on. It's not a hardcover. They can download it and stuff like that. And it's going to be on my DBoss Networks website. So that's going to be something.
So they get a segment and an advertisement. Now, how long is the segment? So is it going to be like a whole?
It's like 22
22-minute
minutes.
segment. Okay.
Yeah.
And
Or depending on how if they're just up and coming artists, they could probably go on for 12, 13 minutes. That's they can get out enough. If they're just up and coming and they're just coming out, how much stuff you have to say. But somebody that's seasoned, they get a lot to say in about 22, 25 minutes. So
okay.
it's okay.
And then they get a now is it a page on your network where this all devoted directly
Yeah.
to the magazine? So
It's going to be a section on the homepage that's in there. So they're just constructing everything right now. So it's going to be the magazine is coming out for June. So
Okay.
this is it's going to be good.
So it's doing good. Under construction right now.
And it's going to educate, yeah, and it's going to be educating people, and it's not just you're just going to see ad. No, it's going to be have something behind it, some juice.
Okay. Now, I heard you say Spanish people. So do you speak Spanish, or you have somebody else to interview the Spanish people?
Someone to do the Spanish. Well, most people speak English, but I have somebody if we have to Spanish. I understand French, and I understand a little bit of Spanish. I understand some. I don't speak it because I'm not in. Sometimes when you're not in it all the time, you can't. If you're just speaking English all the time, that's all you're speaking, right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I'm. I applaud you because I don't speak nothing but English. I can't break it down. They start talking to me. I'm like, hold on, wait a minute. Let me call somebody that understands what you're talking about. You know.
But everybody understands money. It's universal.
Hey, come on now.
You want money,
Yeah, more money, more
okay?
money, more
Whatever
money.
language it is, everybody can understand that.
Yeah,
So
more money, more money, more money. Yeah, that's it. That's all. So overall, with the magazine, you're looking to catapult that into what? I mean, what is it? Just you want to bring more people into your show. You want to expose more artists. What is ultimately your agenda with that?
well, it's to bring more full exposure. Everybody's not on Facebook. Everybody's not on, TikTok and Twitter and all those other regular people can see you too. Just you don't have to because a lot of people are not on Facebook. Believe it or not,
Yeah.
and some people are on LinkedIn, the other one Snapchat. There's TikTok. There's all these different ones now, but not everybody's savvy like that. So some people are seniors and different people, so they still like to they can get onto the computer and they can read. So they rather have that, and they want to be able to get into the direct links and stuff like that wherever the persons are, so they can see what's happening with them. So that's the overall giving people exposures. If you have a liquor that a brand or something that you want that you're doing, or a wine, a new wine, well, that's your opportunity to come on and tell people about your wine because you want people to buy it, right?
Exactly.
So,
Yeah.
and how to get it to them and ship it to them, or how to, there's a lot of people, there's a lot of people out there that they just don't know how to get their stuff out there, promotion and promoting and meet, and I know how to do that very well. So,
Yes, you do.
and get you, and then get you sales.
Yes, you do. Yep. You've been out here doing it longer than me, I think. And internationally. You know. Yes, indeed. Like I said, I see your posts regularly on my Facebook. It pops up all the time. Especially
Mhm.
when you have different artists and mostly entertainment. So some of the guys that you interview, are they? I've been wanting to ask this question. Do you feature mostly just the hip hop world, or are you interested in gospel community, or what's your favorite genre to go after?
Well, I like all music.
Mm-hmm.
I don't still have. I had a Funkyard X on, um, Crack of Dawn. They do R&B with Alvin Jones and people like that. Rock, pop rock, April Allen. So it's jazz. So some of these guys, yeah, some of them are hip hop, but some of them are not. So
Mm-hmm.
I had gospel. I had gospel people on there, and their bands. I've had pastors. I've had preachers. I've had all different kinds of people on there. Just lately, it's just been a surge of those ones. Just a surge of those ones coming on. But it's not about that. Anybody, if they're rock and roll, I've interviewed Paris Black, rock and roll, good old rock and roll, country, what jazz musicians, spoken word. They got people that do the spoken word and stuff like that. So, and they're very, very good. So, You know, I got Vance McKenzie. He does all types of music, R&B. I like R&B,
Okay.
you know, so that and jazz and stuff. But you know, hip hop, I'm not so much hip hop y, but you know, I expect people that do their craft that do that because I like music you could dance to. I like merengue, I like calypso, I like soca, I like reggae, you know, I like, you know, just things that's positive.
Absolutely.
And again, you can have a good time to the
There you
music.
go. I got it. Yeah. So it's safe to say if anybody that is an artist of any type and they want to get some international exposure, they can reach out to you, like you said, www.dbossnetworks.com and reach out to you, leave a message, hit you up, phone call, and talk to you about coming on your show and doing a
Mhm,
feature, getting in your magazine. That's straight off the press because it's launching this month. So it's an opportunity
mhm.
for people to reach out to you in real time because this is what's going on. You want to give them the phone number again?
Oh, well, let me tell you. Well, I have to look. I got all these numbers in my head, Dr.
That's
Ron.
okay.
Yeah, the number is 647-478-9742. And if you want to just send me a email, you could do media@dbossnetworks.com, or you could just reach out to me. Sometimes it's hard to reach out to me on my Facebook, Sweet the Boss, or DBoss Bostic. So, or my first name is Darlita Bostic. So you could, you know, either way you could reach out to me. So it just all depends on what, you know, which way I'll answer you. I'm not as quick to answer back on the Facebook, so it's better to send me an email or call me because I'm like old fashioned. I like to speak
Yeah,
to
you're right.
people.
Yeah, you're right.
Some people don't want to speak to people,
Yeah.
and it's like you can't get to know people if you don't speak to
Hey,
them.
I'm like you. I like to talk to people too. I like to reach out and touch. And it had been a while since I talked to you. I know you was kind of shocked to see me. Like, what? What do you want?
What's up? What are you calling me for?
It was so funny. It was like I can
Yeah, what?
I
Yeah,
can I can hear it in your voice. Like, what do you want?
already already came on your show. What's going on here?
Well, we have a network, okay? And, in a network, you need updates, just like you're doing things differently now, and I like to keep my international connections going on, because there's stuff going on over there that I'm not aware of unless you tell me about it, you know?
And then I got the Asian community. They're welcome to come too.
Okay, there you go. See, you got it all going on. Yeah, see?
Yeah, well, the Asians can come on in. You know, don't be intimidated. You know, just come right on in. And it doesn't matter if you're Asian, from China, Vietnam, you know, Korea. You come from the Philippines. I'm welcome to see you. Come right in.
Yeah.
Not just the West Indian Asians, but with the Caribbean Asians, but you know the ones that are not, you know, just come right on in. This is real life matters. So we deal with a lot of people, a lot of different types of people, and everybody has a matter to talk
Yeah.
about.
So that's one of the shows that you do now. You had another show that you were doing with the co-host, right? What was that one about?
Oh, that talk it
Is
out.
that the name of it? Yeah.
Yeah, talk it out with William Shill Reinhardt. Well, he just put that on pause a little bit
Okay.
because right now he's doing the if people want to reach out to him, the tour for the grassroots tour. So that's with Master P's, I think, cousin, a few people. So if you see, you'll see grassroots, and they're educating the young entertainers and different people, and it's a whole showcase. So people that I believe they just finished in Atlanta. So the next city, I'm not sure where they're going to the next city, but they can always just go on William Reinhardt Chill, and they'll see where the grassroots tour is coming out.
Okay. All right. I know you got another show coming up in about another hour or so, so I know you got to get ready for it. So I'm not going to hold you all the way to the end, but I always have two questions before, I let people go. And the first question is, will you come back and visit me again?
No,
Okay. I tried, John. I tried to lock her in. I tried to lock her in ahead of time. All right.
no, I'll come back. I'll come back, Dr. Ron. well, I'll have you, you know, I'll come back. I'll talk to you. It's not an issue. It's just that it's just so pressing. I'm just so
Right.
pressed because everybody wants to be interviewed. So,
Yeah.
you know, and there's only so much for me unless I can divide myself in two.
Well,
So I'll
and
be
I
all right.
understand that's what happens when you're in demand. Like you said, you got two
Mhm.
interviews to do after this, so man, that's a demand. That is a demand. I got you first today, but everybody else gonna have to they're gonna have to wait their turn.
Well, sometimes I do about four of them a day. You know,
Wow.
four. Yeah,
Yeah.
because remember I'm on 5 days a
Yeah.
week. So,
Yeah.
you know, and then I allow them sometimes to push, like, so that people can get repeated on the network so they could see them. So, and then, you know, if anybody wants to go see the videos, they can just go to DBoss Networks on YouTube and go look, and they'll see them all there. So if they miss any episodes, because a lot of people, sometimes you miss them,
Yeah.
and some people go to bed early.
Yeah.
So what am I supposed to do? You know, like, but most of the time, most people, by the time they sit down, you know, at 10 o'clock, 10 our time here, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you know, 10 to 12, that's when a lot of people sit down and watch a movie or watch something they want to see, then they go to bed.
Right.
So I was in a store and I was getting something, and someone didn't, first they were looking at me and they're saying, "Oh no, that person looks familiar," you know. And then after they looked, and then they said, "Are you on TV or something?" I said, "Yeah." So they were like, "Oh, I watched in Real Life Matters." So she go, "Oh, I watch that show every night. That's my favorite show."
Yeah.
And I was like, and I was with my family, and they were like, "What?" I said, "Yeah, they watch." I said, "That's one of my favorite shows. I watch that at 10 every night
That's what's up.
when I come home." So I was like, "Oh."
That's what's up. That means you're reaching people, and that's what's up. So now my second question is, what would you like to leave with the people before you leave us today?
Well, you know, with so many things going on and everything, you know, I just like people to be true to yourself. You know, stop the scheming and the lying and saying that you're part of something when you're not. You know, just because people now, because of the pandemic, everybody's going to be more authentic because you have to be. Because if you survive during the pandemic, like I have with my brand, and went through it with my brand, then you know you're going to be dealing now with real people,
Yeah.
real people with real things, real situations, and real stories they're going to have to tell, and who made it, and then who has to rebuild. So I'm just leaving with the people. Don't stop what you were doing. Maybe you just have to revamp yourself, but you know, come back with something that's going to really impact the society, the community, the world. You know, just don't come back with something that's not going to do nothing. So now you have to, because now the world is connected more with this pandemic that happened. So I'm just telling people to just really do something that's going to impact people, not just to do something to do it. Do something that's going to impact. So that's what I'm leaving with you.
Amen. Make an impact. Thank you so very much for taking time out your busy schedule to come be on the show today. I thank you. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm gonna come hang out in Canada while it's warm one day. I don't know if I can get in because they might stop me at the border. I don't know. I'm gonna have to come in through the Underground Railroad to see if I can come over there and visit with you.
But they may be waiting for you over
All
there too.
right.
So
Well, look, thank you. I appreciate you. We're going to end the show today.
all right,
This is what I want to put up on the screen. The first thing I
okay,
want to do is invite people to come out and be with us on Thursday, each and every Thursday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time on Street News Now with Six Guys and You. We appreciate you guys. Come on out and check us out on Facebook and YouTube. Also, check me out each and every Saturday from the desk of Dr. Ron, every Saturday, 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. We always bring a question from the public and we answer that question. So please come check us out each and every Saturday. And last but not least, go over to my website, ask-dr-ron.com. Check out all of my advertisers. They help make it possible for us to do what we do here on the show. Also, want you guys